Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Hearth. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Ethan. It's so great to have you here with us today.
We're really excited about today's topic because it's something that, honestly, everyone thinks about at some point in their life. We're talking about dreams and goals.
Yes, and I know what you might be thinking. Oh no, another conversation about goals and resolutions. But wait, don't go anywhere. This is going to be different. We're not going to tell you to wake up at 5 in the morning or run a marathon.
No, definitely not. We're going to keep it real and talk about dreams and goals in a way that actually makes sense for normal, everyday life. Because let's be honest, most of us aren't trying to become Olympic athletes or billionaires.
Exactly. We're just trying to learn a new language or read more books or maybe finally organize that messy closet that's been driving us crazy for months.
Oh, you've been looking in my closet, haven't you?
I think we all have that one closet. But anyway, today we're going to talk about the difference between dreams and goals, how small actions can lead to big changes, and how to protect your dreams from, well, dream thieves.
Dream thieves, I love that term. We'll explain what that means in a bit. But first, let's get comfortable, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's have a nice chat about making your dreams actually happen.
Perfect. So shall we start?
Let's do it. Okay, Ethan, let me ask you something. What's the difference between a dream and a goal? Because I think a lot of people use these words like they mean the same thing.
That's a great question, and you're right, people do mix them up all the time. But there's actually a really important difference. A dream is like the big picture. It's your vision for the future. It's what you wish for.
So like, I dream of speaking English fluently, or I dream of living in a peaceful house in the countryside.
Exactly. Those are dreams. They're beautiful, they're inspiring, but they're also kind of vague. Like they don't tell you exactly what to do today.
Right. So that's where goals come in?
Yes, goals are the practical part. They're the how. If your dream is to speak English confidently, then your goal might be, I will practice English for 15 minutes every day.
Ah, so the dream is the destination and the goals are the steps to get there.
Perfect way to put it. I love that. The dream and the goals work together as a team. The dream gives you inspiration and direction, and the goals give you the actual action plan.
This makes so much sense because I think a lot of people have dreams, but they don't know how to actually make them happen. They just think about them and wish for them, but nothing changes.
Yes, and that's so frustrating, isn't it? You have this beautiful dream, but you feel stuck.
Absolutely. So let's talk about those small actions you mentioned, because I think this is where it gets really practical and useful for our listeners.
Okay, so here's something that completely changed how I think about goals. It's called the 15-minute rule.
The 15-minute rule? Tell me more.
So the idea is simple. Even if you only have 15 minutes a day to work on your dream, that's enough. Like, if you want to learn English, just 15 minutes of focused study every single day can make real progress over time.
Wait, really? Only 15 minutes? That seems too easy.
I know it sounds too good to be true, but think about it. 15 minutes a day is, let me do the math, that's 105 minutes a week. That's almost 2 hours. And over a month, that's over 7 hours of practice.
Wow, when you put it that way, it actually adds up to quite a lot.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing is, 15 minutes is so small that you can't really make excuses. You can't say, I don't have time, because everyone has 15 minutes.
That's true. Even on the busiest days, you can find 15 minutes, maybe during your lunch break, or right before bed, or in the morning with your coffee.
Yes, and this is what they call a daily anchor. It's a small action that keeps your dream present in your daily routine.
I like that term, daily anchor. It's like you're anchoring your dream to your real life, not just leaving it floating up in the clouds somewhere.
That's beautiful. I'm going to steal that description.
Go ahead. But okay, so let's be realistic here. What about those days when you're just exhausted or you're sick or something comes up? I think a lot of people give up completely when they miss one day.
Oh, this is so important. Okay, so here's another concept I love. Imperfect action. This means that doing something small, even if it's just 5 minutes instead of 15, is better than doing nothing at all.
So you're saying it doesn't have to be perfect?
Not at all. If you're really tired, maybe you just listen to an English podcast for 5 minutes instead of doing a full study session. That still counts. You're still moving in the right direction.
I think this is going to be really helpful for people who are perfectionists, because perfectionists often think, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all.
Yes, and that's such a trap because then they end up doing nothing and they feel guilty about it and eventually they give up on their dream completely.
It's like that saying, perfect is the enemy of good.
Exactly. So much better to do 5 imperfect minutes than 0 perfect minutes.
Okay, so we've talked about daily anchors and imperfect action, but I want to talk about something that I think is a huge problem for a lot of people: distractions.
Oh yes, distractions, or as we're calling them today, dream thieves.
I love this dramatic name, dream thieves. So what exactly is a dream thief?
A dream thief is anything that steals your attention and energy away from your goals. The biggest ones are things like constant phone notifications, endless scrolling on social media, or trying to do too many things at once, multitasking.
Scrolling. That's my weakness. I'll pick up my phone to check one message and suddenly 30 minutes have disappeared and I'm watching videos of dogs doing funny things.
Hey, no judgment. Those dog videos are pretty great. But yeah, this is exactly what happens. Our phones are designed to grab our attention and keep it.
So what do we do about it? We can't just throw our phones away.
No, but we can be smarter about it. One strategy is to create a focus corner or a focus space. This is a place where you go to work on your dream and you leave your phone somewhere else.
Oh, I like that. So it's like training your brain. When you sit in that special spot, your brain knows, okay, this is serious work time.
Exactly. It could be a corner of your room, a specific chair, even a coffee shop, just somewhere that you associate with focused work.
And I'm guessing you keep that space clean and organized, no clutter?
Yes, because physical clutter creates mental clutter. If you're trying to study English but there are dirty dishes and laundry everywhere, it's hard to focus.
Okay, so we eliminate distractions, we create a focus space, but what about when the problem isn't our environment but our own mind? Like, what about when we have too many dreams and we want to do everything at once?
Oh, this is such a common problem. People get so excited about changing their lives that they try to do everything. Learn a language, start exercising, eat healthier, write a book, learn an instrument, all at the same time.
And then they get overwhelmed and quit everything.
Exactly. So here's the advice. Pick one main priority for this season of your life.
Season? What do you mean?
Like maybe for the next 3 to 6 months, your main focus is learning English. That's your priority. Everything else is either on hold or it's just a small side thing that you do casually.
So you're not saying give up your other dreams forever. You're just saying focus on one at a time.
Yes, because when you focus on one thing, you can actually make real progress. But when you scatter your energy across 10 different things, you make a tiny bit of progress on everything, and it feels like you're getting nowhere.
That makes sense. It's like that saying, if you chase 2 rabbits, you catch none.
Perfect. I haven't heard that one before, but I love it.
Okay, so we've talked about distractions from our phones and from having too many goals, but there's another kind of dream thief that I think is even more difficult to deal with: other people.
Ugh, yes, other people's opinions and doubts.
Right, like imagine you tell someone, I want to become fluent in English, and they say, that's too hard, or you're too old to learn a language, or why do you even need that?
This is so common and it's so painful because sometimes the people who doubt you are people you love, family, friends, even partners.
So what do you do when someone tries to discourage you?
Well, first, you have to understand something important. When people project their doubts onto you, they're usually not trying to be mean. They're often just projecting their own fears.
What do you mean?
Like maybe they tried to learn a language once and they failed, so they think it's impossible. Or maybe they're afraid of change, so they don't want you to change either.
So it's not really about you, it's about them.
Exactly. And once you understand that, it's easier to not take it personally. You can put on what they call an emotional jacket to protect your dream.
An emotional jacket. I love these metaphors. So, like you're protecting your dream from the cold wind of other people's negativity?
Yes, perfect description. And part of that protection is being careful about who you share your dreams with.
So you're saying we should keep our dreams secret?
Not necessarily secret, but precious, You don't need to announce your dreams to everyone. You can share them with people who are supportive and positive and keep them private from people who are going to be negative.
That's really good advice because I think sometimes people share their dreams too early, before they've even started working on them, and then all the negative comments kill their motivation before they even begin.
Yes, exactly. It's okay to work on your dream quietly for a while. Let your actions speak louder than your words.
I like that. Let your actions speak louder than your words. That's actually quite powerful.
And then, once you've made some progress and you have some confidence, it's easier to handle doubters. You can say, well, I've been studying for 6 months and I've already improved a lot, so I'm going to keep going.
Right, because you have proof. You're not just talking about what you want to do, you're showing what you're already doing.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about one more important thing. The relationship between direction and deadlines.
Ooh, this sounds interesting. Tell me more.
So a lot of goal-setting advice tells you to set specific deadlines, like I will be fluent in English in 6 months.
And that's bad?
Well, not necessarily bad, but it can create a lot of pressure and stress. Because what if you don't reach fluency in 6 months? Does that mean you failed?
I see what you mean. It's very black and white. Either you succeeded or you failed.
Right. So instead, they suggest thinking of your dream like a compass. It shows you the direction, but it doesn't give you a strict deadline.
So you're still moving toward your dream, but you're not panicking if you're moving slower than you planned?
Exactly. As long as you're moving in the right direction, you're succeeding, even if it takes longer than you expected.
I think this is such a healthier way to think about it, because life is unpredictable, right? Sometimes things happen. You get sick, or you have a family emergency, or work gets really busy.
Yes, and when life happens, if you have this strict deadline in your head, then you feel like a failure. But if you think about direction instead, you can just pause, rest, and then start again when you're ready.
Speaking of pausing, can we talk about the idea of loyalty and flexibility? Because I think a lot of people feel guilty when they take a break from their goals.
Oh yes, this is so important. So loyalty means you come back to your dream even after you take a break. You don't give up forever just because you stopped for a while.
And flexibility means it's okay to rest when you need to?
Exactly, you're not a robot. Sometimes you need to rest, and that doesn't make you a failure. As long as you come back to it later, you're still being loyal to your dream.
I think this is going to help a lot of people feel less guilty because so many people stop for a week or a month and then they think, well, I've already failed, so there's no point in starting again.
Yes, but that's not true at all. You can always start again. Today is always a good day to come back to your dream.
I love that. Today is always a good day to come back to your dream. That should be on a poster or something.
Let's make it.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I think we should talk about some important vocabulary that we've been using because our listeners are learning English and I want to make sure everyone understands these words clearly.
Great idea. Okay, so the first word is priority. This means the most important thing that comes first. For example, my priority right now is learning English.
And then we have consistent. This means doing something regularly over a long period of time. Like, I practice English consistently every day.
Next is distraction. This is something that pulls your attention away from your goal. Social media is a big distraction when I'm trying to study.
Then we have mindset. This is your attitude or the way you think about a situation. Having a positive mindset helps you achieve your goals.
And finally, discouraged. This means feeling low or feeling like giving up when things are hard. I felt discouraged when I made mistakes, but I kept trying.
These are all really useful words, and I hope our listeners will practice using them in their own sentences.
Absolutely. And you know what? Learning these words and listening to this podcast, that's a perfect example of a daily anchor. You're working on your English dream right now.
That's true. So listeners, you're already doing it. You're taking that small, consistent action.
Exactly, and we're so proud of you for that.
Well, Ethan, I think we've covered a lot today. Dreams versus goals, the 15-minute rule, daily anchors, dream thieves, the emotional jacket, direction instead of deadlines.
It's been a great conversation, and I hope everyone listening feels a little bit more hopeful and a little bit more empowered to work on their dreams.
Me too. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to take small, consistent steps in the right direction.
And protect your dreams from negativity, both from other people and from yourself.
Yes, be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to rest and make mistakes.
And most importantly, remember that today is always a good day to start or to start again.
Beautiful. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for listening to the English Hearth today. We really appreciate you being here with us.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who's also learning English. And if you have any topics you'd like us to discuss in future episodes, let us know.
We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep practicing, keep dreaming, and keep moving forward.
Even if it's just 15 minutes at a time.
Exactly. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye.